Hello, it's Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. So it's been a little while since I got my last video out. Unfortunately I've been under the weather a little bit. But I'm back now and I've got two replays in the Tier 9 American Tech Tree medium tank M46 Patton. Now this is after the nerf. I think I've got a few replays in this tank already on my channel, but that was sort of kind of prior the nerf to the 105mm gun. Essentially they added like a second onto the reload, and then obviously a while back they also changed it so it's got APCR standard, which is really nice, and there's a heat as the premium shell. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, it probably did need the extra second on the reload, to be honest with you, and it still is a solid tank even with that extra second to reload. It's still very compatible. It's got a decent gun, good mobility for its armour. It's got a fairly decent armour for a tier 9 medium. You can bounce shots off of the turret when you hold down, etc. You're not going to bounce all the time, but you've got that option that you can bounce a few shots. That's a pretty terrible aim shot at that light tank. But we're moving into Westfields and there's no fun police, so we're going to go to sort of the north of the map. I'm not too sure why we've got so many heavies pushing south, considering there's no artillery in the game, so like you can come up and use this ridge and brawl over here, and you just do not have to concern yourself about being shot by the fun police, and that is always nice. So we're going to only have to worry about the guns ahead of us. We want to make sure we punish this light tank because he's driving quite erratically, and he does indeed get punished. We get one into him, and so does our friendly team, and then we get a shot into this Dragon and damaging his engine for good measure. I'm going to try and push across in a second after I shot off this shot into that medium to try and create another angle for our team. A lot of the enemy team are sort of right back at the A sort of 6-7 position on the back ridges. So I want to just try and create a different angle and get as many shots as I can. But as I do that, I realise the Tiger 2s are covering it, and I haven't quite got the gun depression I would have liked in that position. So I'm just looking for a sort of safer place to keep poking and looking shots. Hopefully here I only expose my turrets. I've got an option of bouncing. There's that little like ridge in front of me which is stopping me getting all my shots in there. But we're at a decent start to the game. We've got 2,000 damage. We've got a little bit of resistance, and you see I'm just going back, just looking to see if I can poke a shot in. I want to try and take out this Death Stalker as quick as I can. Unfortunately, I bounced that shot. I could have aimed a little bit lower, but I didn't have a lot of time. I didn't want to expose myself that much because those Tiger 2s camping at the back who have obviously got shots into me. I don't want to take any unnecessary damage if I don't have to. So again, I'm going to sort of relocate, creating another angle just to try and work taking out this medium, and the tank's in front of me. So once they're dead, once the guys in front of me are dead, we can actually push up onto sort of the A3 position and use that ridge to sort of keep cover from the Tiger 2s and then look for shots. But I've got to deal with the initial threat in front of me first. We get a shot into that T92 and putting him onto or her onto a one shot now. And then we're going to, I was actually looking for a shot into that UDES, but the Death Stalker actually drove in front of the shot for good measure, and I picked up a free kill. I wasn't planning on taking that shot, but we get the kill in the end, so that's quite nice. And now you can see, now these guys are killed. We can move up and use this ridge in front of me to get shots onto these UDES, and just work angles. Because at the moment now we've got 3 shots onto this UDES and we can't get shot by the Tiger 2s in return because we've got that cover. So once we've taken out the UDES and any sort of threat on the right, we can then deal with the tanks in front of us again. Just working our way through the team, and it's worked quite nicely so far. Hopefully we're going to get another shot into that UDES before he gets finished off. We do. He left on 42 hit points, and then I'm just looking to see if I thought he was going to get taken out by my team, but he doesn't. I do actually manage to pick up the kill, putting us on 3,500 damage. There's only 5 tanks remaining, and it's just mainly these Tiger 2s in front. I go for the lower plate, but I do bounce. So at this point, I swapped a heat because it looks like we're going to win this game. I just wanted to, be honest with you, get as much damage out of this as I can. I didn't want to risk bouncing off the Tiger 2s. I just wanted to make life easier for me, to make sure I can get shots in where I can. We go for the second shot. Unfortunately, that sort of just missed. I didn't actually hit the turret plate like I'd hoped for. and we do bounce that shot, which is a shame, because I want to make sure every shot counts at this point, because yeah, like I say, there's not a lot of tanks left. So if I want to get the maximised damage out of this, I need to be penning every single shot. So we do get another one, putting us on to sort of 5,000 damage. We trade one in return, but it really makes no difference at this point. We get another one in for the lower plate, putting us on just above the 5k mark. And then we've got this full health Fush to contend with. I want to get at least one into him before we get shut down by enemy team. We do get one in. We're thinking, you know, we've got a chance here. We might be able to get another one in. I don't know what gun he's using at the moment. Obviously, he's got the big gun. He can one-shot me, so I've got to be a little bit careful. But he's not paying too much attention to me. And I do actually manage to... Do I get the third shot in just to get us about that 6k mark? We do. And then he quickly gets shut down. And that brings us an end to the first replay of the video. So let's see how we got on. We got 2 kills, 6,351 damage, 571 assistance, and an ace tanker and a high caliber. But that's it for the first one, but obviously we saved the best to last, so I'll see you in a bit for the second replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the final replay of the video. We are in a tier 10 game on the Fisherman's Bay in the encounter variant. There is no fun police in this match up, and we're platooned up with our platoon mate Curious Pickle. And yeah, we're going to see what we can do here. So initially we're going to go to the middle ridge, see if we can spot anything, see if we can punish any lights, or sometimes, you know, play aggressively at the start, or, you know, or mediums. And yeah, to get a bit of intel and work from there. I pop the food just to boost my view range, but as it happens, a light tank comes around, and yeah, he quickly gets shut down. We do pick up the kid on that guy. Unfortunately, we don't spot him, but we do manage to, yeah, get a kill and a little bit of damage, and that's a light tank out of the game, which is always nice. So sometimes from here you can get shots into people crossing into the town. That building which I just shot, it's a little bit destructible cover, and I like to get rid of it because you can get in your way, it can prevent you spotting people, and also make it harder to get shots in. So I like to get rid of that. I'm just trying to poke and get any shots in where I can. There almost certainly is TDs or tanks camping in the A12, BA12 line. So I've got to be a little bit careful of that, not to over poke, get myself spotted and take a lot of damage from there. But I'm getting a little bit frustrated that nothing's happening, getting a little bit bored of waiting. So I'm going to try, if I can, and create a different angle. Like, the idea is I eventually want to win like the A8-9 line, so I can push along there and sort of trap the enemy team. But first we've got to get rid of this heavy in the town, and this Centurion is sort of pushed into the open. We now have some side shots into him. This valet comes around, we get a nice shot in, it actually damages his ammo rack, and then I'm grateful for this help of this Polish heavy tank, because this means we could just get rid of this valet as quickly as we can, and then we can just move on with our you know, to get the rest of the damage. And this valet is in all sorts of trouble now. I'm just waiting for my reload to go off. Popping shots in, and just between me and this Polish heavy, we're just taking care of this guy pretty quickly. He gets shut down by the object 268-5. We get a nice shot in the into that Centurion, and now we're going to try and push to like the A8 area, because then the guys in the medium on the in the middle of the map, the enemy teams in the middle of the map, are going to kind of get stuck there, and we're going to have, you know, lots of shots into them, and while they're distracted, trying to get shots at our friendly guys in the cap. So at least that's the plan. So here you go. We can see there's a light tank and a Waffle E100, I think, out in the open, or a Jag Tiger. Sorry. I'm going to try and look to see if we can get some shots into these guys, because like I say, they are just in the open, but I'm trying to push around to the side, just so I've got a little bit of hold down cover, and yeah, and then now the trap. It's a fairly even game, but you see I got shots down. There is a Waffle E100. We get one into him there, pull back down. I could load the HE, but I don't know if he's going to get away from me, and I want the shell velocity as well. We get a second shot in, putting us up to 3,000 damage. And now we're hoping they just stay lit. Unfortunately, we've kind of lost the spot on these guys. we do pick up a little bit of assistance to spotting the guys in the 812 line. And once I've taken care of these guys in the middle, I'll be able to push up and spot the remaining tanks in the 812 line. And I should got I've got a big opportunity of picking up quite a lot of assistance. I want to try and kill this T92 light tank because it's a light tank. I want to get rid of it if I can. I'm now pushing up to see if I can spot the stuff in the 1-2 line, because if I do, like I say, I'm going to pick the assistance up. Here's the T92 light. We want to make sure we hit this shot because it's a one shot. So we lead the shot, take our time, and we do take them out. And just by spotting those stuff up at the back, we're already up to 3,000 assistance, which is really, really nice. So if I can keep these guys lit, I'm going to pick up all the assistance from these tanks here, while actually getting some damage in as well, putting us up to 4,600 damage. So they're having a really decent game so far. We try and get a shot into the lower plate. We bounce it with the APCR, so we swapped to the heat because it's going to be awkward pending the lower plate of the E4 with the APCR rounds, and we want to make sure we can finish him off. So we go for the shot. Unfortunately, we don't quite roll high enough to finish him off. Leave him on 2 hit points, and he then slaps us, losing our first bit of damage in the game, putting us under 845 hit points. So it's a bit of a shame we didn't roll higher there, and then I wouldn't have had to take that damage. We're going to try and get this Jag Tiger while he's escaping. We get one in. I'm kind of thinking he's going to get shut down by our friendly teams, but he doesn't look so. I actually do manage to pick up the kill. And now I'm going to move down the one line just so I can finish up. I think there's like one tank still in like the B1 area. I want to try and take care of that guy, and then I can potentially move in and deal with the remaining guys down the 1-2. But I do have to be a little bit careful because it is a 5v4. We had a really nice game. We had like, about over 10,000 combined here, but there is still more damage to be had, and I don't want to throw away my tank unnecessarily. So if I can kind of get rid of this check heavy in the like the one line, then we can be able to deal with the rest of the tank after that, because these are 2-shot to me. But yeah, I've got to be a little bit careful because obviously I don't know. I've lost the intel on the guys which were pushed down the 1-2 line now, so I don't know if they're all just waiting for me. So I've got to be a little bit careful. We get another shot into that leopard. We've got pretty lucky against us, that leopard, because we tracked him earlier, and this time we hit his gun. He's literally got no armor, but he's managed to absorb 2 shots off of us. We get one into the IS-7, putting him on a 2-shot to us. Now, at this point, I was kind of hoping it was going to push for the reset, and then I was able to get a few shots into him. But maybe I should have just pushed into the middle of the map here, and I might have had a bit more success, because I've just realised my platoon mate is on a 1-shot, so I've got to be a little bit careful. I'm trying to move in to try and spot them so we don't lose the intel. At this point, I'm kind of thinking we might just end up capping out, but the enemy team does get 1 reset. So I'm going to try and get a shot into that IS-7, looking for the finish on that check heavy. Unfortunately, we don't manage to get that. So we pull back in. We're hoping he's going to rush us and we'll be able to finish him off. Unfortunately, we get unlucky there. I think we hit his gun, ricocheted off his gun. So that's a bit awkward. At this point, I just need to get that 1 shot at tank out. Unfortunately, he's now left me on a 1-shot. So in this situation, it's a bit awkward because I'm a 1-shot to that IS-7. I can't finish him off. I need 2 shots to finish him off. So if he just pushes us at this stage, he's going to be able to take us out. I'm just hoping that if he does push us, my platoon mate will be able to overpoke, and he's in an autoloader, then maybe clip both of them out. Because I've lost the spot now. We've only got 15 seconds, so I assume he's just going to come in for me. Unfortunately, we don't manage to get a shot in. And yeah, my platoon mate then gets taken out after taking out one of the tanks. But we're going to win anyway by caps, and we do end up with a good game nonetheless. So let's just get to the scoreboard and we'll see how we got on. So we picked up, I think it was just shy of 6,000 damage, 4 kills, 5,500 assistance, so over 10k combined, ace tanker, high caliber. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!